I'm Ellaby Blue Dragon, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft. Now, last time that we left off, we've basically been doing a lot of terraforming and actually destroying a lot of things. And also building our farm and building our house. In my Scratch series, I did talk about a few movies that actually are very good. And some of them that are not so much very good, which are cash grabs. And I think we should talk about some of them. While I'm doing a lot of terraforming and doing a lot of things in Minecraft, I might as well talk about a few cash grabs. And maybe some other movies as well while we're in the making of my forever home in Minecraft. And I have a very good idea of what movie we should talk about first. So, the first movie that we should definitely talk about is my all-time favorite movie as a child, Spirit. Yes, I am literally starting off with this movie in particular because reasons for it, that there is not only a series of this, but also a movie as well. And let me tell you this, folks, the movie and the series are pretty bad. And it's highly recommend that you guys not watch this at all. Why is that, you may ask? Well, I'm going to give you a little bit of some education here. I know a lot of you guys don't know or may know what a cash grab. In summary of it, a cash grab is a low quality and often unnecessary sequel made with the primary intent of cashing in on a successful previous movie, aka Spirit. Spirit was a very good show back in the day. One of many shows in the 2000s era where movies decide to cut 2D animation and work fully on 3D animation, which that is very sad. But sometimes, every now and then, some movies might do 2D animation. And there are some days where they don't, given by the budget or the costly of them. Which is why nowadays you'll see more 3D animations rather than 2D animations. So, I think it's time that we actually talk about Spirit, the movie. Spoilers ahead. So Spirit is about a horse growing up, being raised and born into the plains of the outdoors of a wild terrain. But of course, Spirit actually gets captured by Western folk and is actually being taken to a camp to be tamed. But honestly, this wild horse cannot be tamed because he will stop at nothing in order for him to get himself back to his civil people. And of course, going back to his home, there are loads of obstacles and challenges along the way. He also gets to meet some new friends and alongside with some enemies. And that's basically what the premise of the story of Spirit. Now, I grew up watching this movie, and it is actually one of my favorite horse movies of all time. There are some other ones, of course, but honestly, Spirit has a little heart in my soul. This movie was released on May 24 of 2002. Had a budget of $80 million and then slammed it at the box office of $122.6 million. Wow. A movie like that deserves a lot of praise, of course. But what was really interesting about this movie is that this movie was actually sketched by an actual real horse. The animators that actually drawed Spirit actually studied and analyzed a real life horse. I know, shocking, right? This horse was named Donor. I hope I'm saying this right. And he was actually a Mustang breed, a real life Mustang horse, and DreamWorks decided to actually analyze and study Donner in order to actually make this horse Spirit come to life. And once the movie was actually finished, it actually raised a lot of awareness for a lot of people to go to see Donner and the stables. And once the movie was actually over, Donor was actually set free onto the plains with all the other horses to roam free. So honestly, this movie came a long way. A very long way. So, I think it's time for me to talk about the Netflix series that was released in 2017 of Spirit Running Free. I jumped into this little series thinking that this series could be something extraordinary. But no, I was mistakenly so very wrongly. I mean, look at what they did to my boy. You've gone from this to this. This don't look like Spirit at all. And the sole movie of this entire movie was Spirit actually being friends with this girl. And they go on crazy adventures alongside with friends, getting into trouble, and doing a lot of other crazy adventures. And this series did not go so very well. Why? Because this series was a 3.8 out of stars. That's not good. Not at all. And not only that, they made so many seasons. They made 8 seasons out of this. And the stuff that they actually create and made with this series is totally wrong. The stories are plain. The designs are very terrible, including my boy's Spirit here. And it's just, frankly, just plain. There's nothing to give. Because here's the thing. If you have like a successful movie that had a very good main character, and then being pushed to the side of another character, that's not going to work out. Now, there are some movies that actually do have 3 main characters, or more, but they honestly balance it out with each and every single one of them with their own scenarios, problems, and then in the end, working together. This, however, did not succeed as well. The series is very boring and it's bad. I would not waste my time on this. This is just something that they just make and just wait for people to see and watch it. And trust me, Spirit fans have been raving for another Spirit movie. But in the end, it did not work at all. And then, the worst part of it is that they made a movie called Spirit Untamed in 2021. A few years has passed, and they decided to make a movie of Spirit. And let me tell you something. This whole entire movie was basically, what they did is that in the movie, they basically redid all of the stuff, copied and pasted of the series that was on Netflix, and then make it into a movie. Guys, if you guys have not caught that while watching Spirit Running Free and Spirit Untamed, there is something wrong with you. That is literally copying and pasting like your homework or your test from another student and just writing down answers and then making something up. That is very much uncool. But the craziest thing is that I know that this movie was actually made and was actually being worked during the pandemic. And it really does show, because there was a lot of things that is very unclean, uncut, and it's just, the movie is soulless. There is nothing to gain from this experience of watching this movie. Not at all. The budget was $30 million. And in the box office, $42.7 million. That's twice as bigger than Spirit, the movie. That's way more better than Spirit, the movie. And they did a way more better job than this. Because in the movie of Spirit Untamed, they had so many errors. The characters were very lifeless, not very likable. So many proportions, including the horses, were very much unproportioned. The lighting was very uncleaned, not very shady. There was very poor writing. The plot was very, very, very predictable. The animation was very wonky and very unclean by so many of the characters, including the horses. And my boy's Spirit looks so much better in 2D rather than these bozos. The animation was very bad. It really came to show that they were very rushed, and it was not very good at all. And it kind of reminds me of this other series. What kind of other series that's very rushed, not very explanational, and is very soulless? What show could that be? I don't know. Maybe I'll review this one next time. But in conclusion, with all of this, Spirit, the actual Spirit movie, is the one that should be praised and not forgotten. This one had so many struggles, so many life lessons, better than Untamed and Running Free together. And Spirit the movie was so much better with its plot, storyboard, character designs. So obviously, this was basically a cash grab for Spirit Running Free and Spirit Untamed, two of which these both shows and movie were very much a cash grab. Something that would lure people in to watch and just basically give money out for free, and something that should not even want to coexist. So take my advice, please, and do not watch Spirit Running Free and Spirit Untamed. Really comes to show that these two shows are not very much good with their animation, quality, storytelling, and life lessons. So if you want to actually find a show that would actually give good life lessons, makes you laugh, and lets you have a very good time, no doubt with anything at all, I suggest you go and watch Bluey. Case closed. And on that note, I'm really sorry to say this, but I'm going to have to leave it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. And my next topic will actually finally be diving down onto this show, which honestly, there's a lot of things to be said about this show. Angrily and furiously. And also leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. And I hope you guys have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in this world. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see y'all later. Bye!